Hello, welcome to our Wednesday devotional. Thank you for joining in. I trust we can be a blessing today. This has been a busy week. We have had the DAX competition last week. We had the Awana Olympics on Saturday. We had Dr. Carter on Sunday, and then Monday he was here for chapel. Just a busy, busy week, and I'm so glad everything went so well. And if you were here, I hope you enjoyed being here and participating in those things. But it seems like at a church ministry, there's always a bunch of projects or things that are taking place. For instance, we have old buildings, and in the last 2 or 3 months, we have once again begun to have flooding in our basement. That's exciting. It's especially exciting if you don't know it's there and you go down trying to have class and your room is flooded. But with old buildings, you can expect that sort of thing. A lot of other things are taking place, getting toward the end of the school year, getting toward the time when our senior high, some of them earn the right to go to national competition, and just an exciting, exciting time. I was reminded when I was reading in Joshua recently about a statement that we need to put in our minds and in our hearts. You remember when Joshua took over the nation of Israel, Moses had died, and in Joshua chapter 1, several times God says, be of good courage, Joshua, be of good courage. He was going to help him, and he wanted to encourage Joshua because this was a big job. And then we read later on, this is where I want to get to, later on in Joshua chapter 11, we read this about Joshua: he left nothing undone of all that the Lord commanded Moses. It's easy to start a job. It's not so easy to finish. Some people actually, sadly, get a reputation of being good starters and not good finishers. As I age, I keep thinking more and more about finishing. I want to finish God's work well. I want to finish my life well. Just this last Saturday, we had a service for Pastor Jeff Berg's wife, a funeral service, and what a blessing it was to be there and remember her faithfulness and them as a couple, their faithfulness to God for these many years. But it reminds us we need to finish the job, finish well. I want to give you a couple thoughts as I've thought about finishing well, finishing the job. We need to know what the job is. In God's work, our job, we've been left here for the purpose of glorifying the Lord and leading others to Him, pointing others to Him. What a joy it is. And sometimes we get distracted from the job. Right now in our church ministry, I personally am tempted to be distracted sometimes with everything else that's going on. I'm thrilled to have on our staff Brother Longhofer as my assistant and school principal, and Brother Heichman in the business office and working on projects. And it's easy now to start thinking more about the school so I can help Brother Longhofer accomplish the goals that he has, and thinking about projects so I can help Brother Heichman with the projects that he has. But my main focus still needs to be ministry. Still needs to be preaching the word. Still needs to be leading people to Christ. Thankfully, this week we've also got to deal with people about salvation and deal with people about following the Lord in baptism. That's so we can finish the job. It's so easy to start, not easy to finish. We need to know what the job is. Secondly, and this is what I was saying, we need to be sure we're not distracted from the primary purpose. It's easy for a pastor to enjoy talking with people so much that he doesn't actually get to meet people who are unsaved. That's a sad thing, but it's easy to become distracted. Here's what I do. I make a list, but I don't just make a list, I revise my list. Every morning I revise my list because things that were not so important yesterday may have become important by today. So if I'm going to finish the job, I need to know what the job is, and I need to not be distracted, and often I need a list. I would love, when my life is over, my ministry is over, for it to be said of me, I don't know if this would be a proper eulogy or not, but as it was said of Joshua, he left nothing undone, and in Joshua's case, that Moses had told him to do. But in our case, we would want it to be, he left nothing undone that God told him to do. Isn't that how you'd like to finish your life? If you're young, you can think of this sort of long term. We don't know how long we have. But if you're older, you think of this as relatively soon. Finish the job. God's given us a job to do. Let's finish the job. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.